Well, welcome everyone to a chat with one of Women's Net's winners of the Amber Grant. Today we're speaking with Eliza Kosoy of Eliza Dolls, who's the Amber Grant winner for February 2021. I'm Marsha Layton Turner. I'm one of the members of the Women's Net Advisory Board. Now, anybody who watched our premiere video from last month may be wondering if we only give money to the makers of dolls. And the answer, of course, is no. It just so happened that these impressive applicants for very different types of dolls came in back to back. And so we didn't want to not give Eliza the money because her idea is fantastic. So I just wanted to address that right up front in case anybody had any questions. So Eliza, why don't we start by you telling us about your product and your business, maybe beginning with why you started it?
Okay, and thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I won. Just wanted to say that. So why I had the idea for the Eliza Dolls? Okay, so really why I had the idea was I had this like breaking point moment. I used to work in this lab at MIT, this computational cognitive science lab, and it was 28 men and 2 women. And one day we're in a lab meeting and this guy who's like this math prodigy genius is talking about this AI that could do 30 kills per minute, and everybody was like geeking out about it in the video game. And I just had this moment where I was like, why is this what we're working on? Like, AI is so powerful, it has the power to like change the world. Why is this what we're focusing on? And then it kind of made me realize, like I think if we had more diversity in the room, I think if we had more women in the room, we might be focusing on different issues. So that's kind of why I had the idea. I was like, how can I fix this? Like, how can I get more women into the field? How can I make the field more diverse? Yeah.
Awesome. And so at what point did you start thinking about developing a doll to help teach coding?
Yeah, it kind of, well, for me, when I would ask anyone in the lab, like, when did you start programming? Everyone would say, when I was a kid. And if you look at even like all the people that are like the tech billionaires, like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Sergey Brin, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, all those guys started tinkering with computers when they were kids. But then I flashed back to my own life and I was like the biggest doll nerd. And, I just loved dolls and doll houses. And I was angry at my childhood self for not playing with computers, and I was like, how can I like make these two worlds come together? Because I think young girls, they really like dolls and they like fashion and they like all these things. And, I don't want to be like penalizing them for having these interests. And a lot of the STEM toys on the market are mostly just kind of like targeted for boys. So that's kind of how I had the idea. I was like, let's merge these worlds where they can still play with what they like, but there's a whole technology aspect to it.
Awesome. Well, can you show us one of the dolls? I know you have a couple prototypes.
Okay, and these are just the prototypes, but that I made to kind of just show how it works. But they all have this little computer inside called an Arduino. This one's lighting up and it has different sensors in it. She's got this light up belt and it makes sounds. And you'll be able to code it to do all these different projects based on different sensors. Here's one where it has a screen so you can upload like whatever images you want to it and just do all these different things with it. And I'm gonna have a bunch of different projects that come with each doll.
And you were telling me that you use an iPad to instruct the doll how to do things. Is that, I'm not saying it very well, but
That's okay. So the way that you're going to be able to code the doll is through this thing called block programming, which is a way to teach kids how to code, where they drag little blocks. They look like little Legos almost, but each one represents a piece of code. So it's easier for kids to begin understanding like the logical thinking of coding. And then you do that on this app, on an iPad or on a computer, but probably it's easier to like use your fingers on an iPad or a phone, a large phone. And then through Bluetooth, it gets sent right to the doll. So it'll be kind of easy that way.
Awesome. So what do you think has been the secret to your success so far?
I mean, I think I really, really care about this. Like, I'm super passionate about it. I really think like it can make a huge difference. And I think really it's like, the more I tell people about it, getting their feedback, that's like what really inspires me. And like, I always get such great feedback, and like winning a grant, that'll like definitely keep me going. I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track. And yeah, but mostly just seeing like when I show it to little girls, like they love it. And that for me is like, I'm like, yes, I'm doing something right. And I really hope I can like make a difference in this way. So
that's awesome. So what made you decide to apply for an Amber grant?
Well, so one of my mentors, this woman who knows about like all the cool grants, told me about it. And then when I saw the website and I saw the application was very, tiny, kind of easy to fill out, I was like, no brainer, like definitely apply for this. Because when you have a startup, you always need money, and like the easier the application, the better it is, right? So when I saw it, and it was like this all for women, I just thought it was totally like what I'm looking for and awesome. And I looked at some of the previous winners, and they were kind of early stages too. I think I'm more early stage. It's harder to find grants for early stage startups, so that's why I applied, and yeah, super grateful that I won.
Awesome. Well, so now that you have won, how are you going to use the $10,000 to grow the company? Do you have specific things you're going to spend it on?
Yes, it's going to disappear very quickly.
Of course.
One of the things I definitely need help paying for is getting this prototype made in LA at this factory. They're manufacturing it, so it's like a professionally made product so that I can launch on Kickstarter, and it's super expensive. So part of it's going to go to that. Another part that I've recently didn't know if I could afford, but now I think I can afford, is to hire a design person. So someone with like real design experience who can help with the brand and like the packaging and things like that, things for social media. And then I really want to have some like marketing, so pay for some ads and stuff like that. And that's kind of expensive. So I think I'm going to gobble it all right out by those three things.
Awesome. And so looking ahead, what are some future plans that you may have for the company?
Yeah, so like I said, there's this factory in LA that's making the prototype. Once I pick those up, hopefully within the next month, I'm hoping to launch on Kickstarter within 2 months. So I think within 3 months, definitely there'll be a Kickstarter launch. And the plan is to have different levels that people can invest in that way. And there'll be a website and stuff too. And, if you want to go to the website and like sign up for our email list, then I can send you an email update about our launch. And we've been growing that email list. But yeah, so the plan is to launch on Kickstarter and then get it into the hands of people that way by using the factory already that I found in LA.
And do you think you have 2 prototypes now? Do you think you'll develop additional dolls down the line? Will you go into a new, develop new features for the dolls? Just thinking like even beyond once you introduce the product, what are you going to do?
Oh, for sure. So I want to have as many different looking dolls as possible. Like I really want to have a diverse set of dolls. I want them to all look different. I want them to appeal to all different kinds of little girls. That's something that's really big for me. Given the budget and the constraints, I could only make 2. So these are the 2 that I'm going to have for now. And then, different hair color and stuff like that. But so that's definitely one thing. And then like accessories are just going to be endless, because the cool thing about electronics are you can use different sensors to make all these different kinds of projects. So I have like so many ideas. It was really hard to constrain it to the set that I'm going to have. But yeah, so using different electronics to teach different concepts. And that's how I'm planning to like expand it.
Awesome. I'm thinking of even, Build-A-Bear and all the accessories they have for that. So this could be like the upgraded American Girl doll almost, with all the additional things, the non-techie things you could also get for them. So.
Yeah, that would be an insane dream to have like a store where you could kind of be, it would be half like a coding center where kids could come in and take like computer classes and stuff like that, where they could learn things, but also, enabling them to build their own things through the different like sensors you could sell in an easy to kind of digest way.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You thought about this.
Definitely. I haven't like my dreams spiral out of control. So
that's fantastic. So do you have any advice for aspiring entrepreneurs? Anything that you've learned along the way so far that might help women who want to run their own businesses?
I definitely say don't give up. I think it's really easy to give up because things get messed up constantly, and I'm always questioning myself, like, why am I doing this? Why did I think I could do this? So definitely don't give up. And for me, it's also like, if someone does say something discouraging, kind of use that as fuel. I think that really helps. Definitely try to find like older, wiser female mentors. They're kind of everywhere. You don't realize it, and they come, you find them and they're so helpful and they want to help you. And like, I wouldn't have known about this grant if it wasn't for one of my mentors. And then I would say apply for everything. Like I apply for a lot of things. I'm always applying for things. The more things you apply for, the better you get at applying for them. And you just have no clue like what's out there and what you could win. And that's been a big part of my journey, is like figuring out all these things and winning some of them. And it really helped along the way. So yeah.
Great advice. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story with the Women's Net community. And congratulations on being our latest Amber Grant winner.
Yay, thank you so much. Sounds like my dog is also saying thank you. And I'm so grateful. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.